Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and I'm from the Pretty Sweaty Stuff. Thank you so much for joining me today for this fairly short, sweet, sort of gentle class today. You can do it in the morning, in the evening, midday, whenever suits you really. So whenever you're ready, we'll start in a nice comfortable seated position. If you would like to use any props, blocks, cushions, bolster underneath the seat, more than welcome to grab them. Hit pause, and then whenever you're ready, we'll close down the eyes. And take a few moments here to just really relax and soften on inwards. Just allowing the elbows to soften a little bit more. No forceful movements just yet. And coming to notice your breath, that natural rhythm. Noticing the inhales and exhales as they move around the body. How does the body feel when you just simply breathe? And we'll begin to slow down the breath a little bit more, beginning to build on that internal heat. Taking a big inhale through the nose. Easy exhale through the nose. Maybe starting that ujjayi breath. 2 more times together, take a big breath in. And a big breath out. One last time, take a big inhale. Easy exhale through the nose. So making sure you can keep this nice new breath throughout the practice. Deep inhales through the nose, easy exhales through the nose. Making sure you can keep it nice and calm. So the breath will tell you if you've gone a little bit too far today. The breath will start to shorten, you'll start to pant. And if at any time those changes start to happen, just take a rest and then join us when you're ready. You can even hit pause as well. Remember to listen to your body at all times. Whenever you're ready, gently blink the eyes open, the gaze is soft. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, just soften them back down. 2 more like that. Big inhale, reach the arms up, reach through the fingertips. And then as you exhale down. One last time, big inhale, grow nice and tall. And then as you exhale, release. Releasing the right hand on top of the left knee, left fingertips behind you. Take a big inhale, draw the belly and the ribs in. And then as you exhale, gentle twist towards the left. You can always bring that left ear down towards that left shoulder. Inhale, rolls you through center. And as you exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale, create a little bit of length. And as you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Again, you can always bring that right ear down towards that right shoulder. And then come back through center. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, release. Take your time, we'll meet on all fours, tabletop position, hands and knees. So set the base up here. Hands about shoulder width distance apart, knees about hip width distance. So these cues are just a rough guide. So you kind of need to find what works for your body. So as a rough guide, you kind of want the index finger pointing forwards. If you're a little bit tighter today, you can just turn them out a little bit more. Pressing into the finger pads, into the knuckles. Take a big inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms, look up. So imagine that you're trying to get the head to touch the sticking bones. Not going to happen, but that's the action of. And then as you exhale, push the ground away from you, chin to chest, cat pose. Really push the ground away from you, draw the belly in. And then do a few more in your own time. So inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms, look up. And as you exhale, push the ground away from you, chin to chest, cat pose. And then really find your breath here. Nice, easy inhales and easy exhales. So if you want to take any other spinal movements, go ahead, do whatever feels good for you. So you can go round to round, and then you can wiggle the tail as well as you go side to side. If cat-cow doesn't seem to be working for you today. And then gradually find some stillness, coming to a neutral place. So draw the belly and the ribs in. We're just going to warm up into the wrist, making sure the finger pads and the knuckles stay grounded. We're just going to lift the palms up. You might hear some cracks. And the amount of times that I hear that a lot of people get wrist pain. And I'm always asking, do you warm up the wrists before you practice? Or do you have breaks in between desk work? And they're just like, no. And it's super important to have healthy wrists, as well as all the rest of the joints in the body. Finding stillness, turn the back of the hands towards the ground, fingertips towards you, and then just rock forwards and backwards, nice and gentle. So this can be super intense if you're really tight here, so just be mindful. You can always flicker the fingers as well. And then finding stillness, turning fingertips outwards in a wrist all together. And then just rock side to side, applying pressure to one side and then the other. Just make sure the web between the thumb and the index fingers stays super grounded. We're going to try and just stretch and work into the whole body here. So it should feel nice in the morning and in the evening. And again, like I mentioned before, even as a lunchtime break. And then come back through center. We'll bring the forearms to the ground. We'll just quickly massage into the forearms. Again, healthy wrists, healthy forearms. And then we'll trade sides. So if you need a little bit more time, just hit pause, go through the exercises again for the wrists and the forearms. Otherwise, we'll move on whenever you're ready. Coming back into your tabletop. Skip the belly and the ribs in. Up to you if you want to tuck the toes under for a little bit more stability, stretch in the arches of the feet. Whenever you're ready, we're going to extend and float your right leg behind you. So as you extend and float that right leg, notice I'm not dipping the belly in. Scoop it in towards the spine, engaging to the core. So you can stay here if you like. Reach that left arm out in front of you. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, elbow to knee, crunching around it in. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, crunch. One more like that. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. Find length from the left fingertips to that right heel. And as you exhale, left hand finds the ground. Lift your hips up and back, three-legged dog. So if you're a little bit tighter today, just keep that left knee bent. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, step your right foot forward between the hands. Pull it through if you need that to happen. Lower the left knee to the mat. Checking that the front heel stacks on top of the ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up, squeeze the inner thighs together. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers behind the head, send the chest forward. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands to the mat. Step your right knee back behind you. Shift forward, squeeze the elbows in, lower the chest. In between the hands, followed by the chin. So really get that bottom sitting up. Inhale, sweep forward, find your low back bone. Squeeze the elbows in, nice long neck. And as you exhale, push it back up, tabletop position. Coming for the other side, so extend and float your left leg behind you. Scooping the belly and the ribs in and really press into that left hand. You can stay here if you like, reach that right arm out. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it in. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, crunch. One more like that, inhale, release. And as you exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, right hand finds the ground and lift your hips up and back, three-legged dog. Again, keep that right knee bent if you've got a tight hamstring. We're looking for that nice long spine. Whenever you're ready, step your left foot near the left thumb and then lower the right knee to the mat. Squeeze in the thighs together. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers behind the head, send the chest forward. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, hands find the ground. Step it back, shift forward, squeeze the abdomen, and then lower your chest between the hands, followed by your chin. Squeeze the abdomen, and then inhale, find your low back bend. And then as you exhale, this time round, downward facing dog. And then once you arrive in your downward facing dog, do whatever feels good for you. So in your downward dog, you're lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. And the most important thing, apart from the grounding of the hands, is finding that nice length along the spine. Okay. See a lot of people trying to get the heels to touch the ground, and then they have like this rounding thing going on. I have no idea why people think bringing the heels is the most important thing. Your hamstrings will eventually get there, but what we're looking for is that nice long spine. Okay, so your belly can even touch the thighs if that's where you're at today. Okay, just finding that acceptance. And then we'll just carry on pedaling out through the feet, through the legs, just waking up the arches, the soles, maybe the calves, the hamstrings. And then finding stillness here. Okay. Feet, wherever you are, should be about hip width distance apart. Hands about shoulder width. Again, you can go a little bit wide if your shoulders are feeling a bit tight today. Scooping the belly in. And kneecaps point forwards. Push the ground away from you to find a little bit more length along the side body. Remembering to keep that index knuckle super grounded here. Inhale, look at the front of your easy walk to the top of the mat, folding forward. Placing the hands on top of the shins or to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through the arms. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Press down the feet big, and that lifts you all the way up. Reach the arms up. And as you exhale, gentle side bend to the right. Press a lot into that left heel and draw the belly and the ribs in. Inhale, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, tip it to the other side. And then coming all the way back up, reach through the fingertips. And then interlace your fingers behind the head, send the chest forward. So send the elbows out, send the chest forward. Make sure you're not dumping into the lower back. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, crunch and round it in. So almost like a standing cat-cow. Two more like that. Inhale, lift, send the chest forward. And as you exhale, crunch. One more like that. Inhale, lift. And then as you exhale, crunch. And then slowly release the hands or interlace your fingers behind you. Take a big inhale, send the chest forward, press the palms together. So if you're tight today, you can keep a micro bend in the elbows. Feeling good today, you can come to extend the arms, send the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, fold forward, maybe coming through bent knees. And you can pedal out through the legs if you like, wiggle side to side. Relax the head and the neck, no tension anywhere. Releasing the hands on top of the shins or to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Lean towards that right foot, so set that base up. Spreading the right toes nice and wide. And then we're going to step your left foot back behind you. Step it nice and long. And you want your feet roughly about hip width distance apart to find that stability. So it's runner's lunge. I'm stacking the left heel directly on top of the toes to really fire up into this left quad. I'm squeezing the inner thighs together, and I'm finding length along the spine. So from the crown of the head all the way towards the left heel. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, lean towards your left fingertips, right hand onto your lower back. Take a big inhale, find length, exhale, gentle twist towards the right. So you can stay here, wrap that right outer glute in towards the midline, if you like, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. So you can really roll your right shoulder open. So you're really finding movement in the upper back. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, frame out your front foot again. Settle into this lower lunge. Squeeze it in the thighs together. Whenever you're ready, press down the feet, lift all the way up, high lunge, arms towards the ceiling. So I quite like a high lunge where that back heel is super lifted towards the heel. So you can engage into that left quad. If this feels a little bit too much on the front of this left leg, you can always micro bend into the knee or even tap it to the ground. Front knee stacks on top of the ankle and it's not wiggling around. I'm really reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, spin the back foot down, warrior two. So traditionally, you want the front heel intersect the back arch of the foot. You're about one leg's distance apart. Arms in line with the shoulders, and the gaze is over that right middle finger. Take a big inhale, front leg starts to straighten. And as you exhale, pivot the left toes out. Squat into this left leg, Skandasana. So this really depends on obviously the range of motion in the hips, the groin, and the ankle. So you might find that you're high up here. And what we're going to do today is do our very best to keep that left heel grounded. So if you're here today, perfect, stay where you are. We've got the range of motion today. You can squat a little bit lower. Okay. So wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. And then we're going to ground your front foot. You're going to shift it forwards, and you're going to float it up, warrior three. Take whatever variation feels good for you. So whether that's the fingertips to the ground on top of the block or a chair, you can have the aeroplane, you can come to extend the arms, maybe hands together, heart center. Whenever you're ready, press down that right foot. Inhale, lifts you all the way up. Take your left knee in. And as you exhale, figure four in the leg. So left ankle on top of the right thigh. Sink the butt back. Think about being in your half chair in your right leg. Imagine pressing that left knee towards the ground and finding as much length as you can along the spine. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, left foot finds the ground, chair pose. Big toes together, tiny little gap in the heel. If this doesn't feel good, you can just bring the feet about hip-width distance apart. Checking down to see that you can still see the toes. And you're finding that neutrality in the lower back, pelvis. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Hands on top of the shins or to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, fold forwards. Press down the feet, inhale, lift you all the way up, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, hands together, heart center. I want to stand towards this way so you can see. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Set that left foot up, so spread into the toes. And then step your right foot back behind you, about hip-width distance apart. Squeezing the inner thighs together, and I'm charged up in that quad. Sending the head forwards, chest through the arms. Leaning towards your right fingertips, left hand into your lower back. Take a big inhale, find your length, and as you exhale, gentle twist towards the left. Spinning the left shoulder open, so you can stay here if you like. Reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. So what I'm doing is, I'm keeping the head forward rather than at an angle. And then you can always place your right hand on top of a block or a book as well. Releasing the left fingertips to the ground, squeezing the inner thighs together. Press down the feet, inhale, lift all the way up for your high lunge. And as you exhale, settle in here. Just charging up into this left outer glute to help with the knee so it's not wobbling around. I'm scooping the belly and the ribs in so I'm not creating a massive arch here. And I'm isometrically pulling the 2 feet together. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, spin the back foot down, warrior two, adjust the feet. Remember, you're not stuck on the mat. So you're about one leg's distance apart. And remember, the front heel intersects the back arch of the foot. If having the length about one leg's distance apart is a bit too much on the front groin, you can just shorten it a little bit. And then maybe not squat so much in this front knee. Gaze over the left middle finger. And just breathe. Finding as much length as you can along the side body. Relaxing into the shoulders. Begin to straighten your front leg, pivot your right toes out, squat into this right leg Skandasana. So remember, you can squat it low or you can stay up nice and high if that feels better. I say feel better, squats are not great. I'm just breathing, finding your breath. Remember to draw the belly and the ribs in. You're going to shift forwards. Keep the gaze out in front of you. Use your inner thighs and the core to sweep you forward. And then you're going to float it up, warrior three, back leg float. So keeping the hips nice and square to the ground. Up to you if you want to point or flex. Sometimes I find flexing the foot and sending your right little toe towards the ground will help find the squareness. And you can take whatever variation you feel you need. Press down on that left foot, inhale, lifts you all the way up, tuck your right knee in. And as you exhale, cross your right ankle on top of the left thigh, figure four. Sink the butt back behind you. Think about being in your half chair pose. So notice I've got a slope along the spine. I'm using my back muscles as well. And the action of bringing that right knee towards the ground to just open up a little bit more into the outer hip. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, foot finds the ground, chair pose. Just really finding this breath here. So this can be super intense for some people. If it doesn't feel good with the arms up and you feel like you're scrunching your shoulders up, you can always just bring the hands together, heart center. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, fold forwards, wiggle it around. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Scoot your feet nice and wide, pivot the toes out, we'll sink at low yogi squat. Bringing the hands together, and then you can just wiggle side to side. I'll just angle it for you. Releasing the fingertips behind you, bring the seat to the ground, and then bring the soles of the feet together. So if you feel like you're rounding and you sort of got any hip or knee pain, it's always a great idea to prop the seat up with a cushion, block, or bolster. And you can just sit on the very edge to create a little bit of height. And you can always just prop the knees up as well. Wherever you are, ground through the sitting bones, you can stay nice and tall, perfect where you are. If you like, take a big breath in and it feels okay. As you exhale, you can always begin to fold forwards. And you can always prop a pillow underneath the belly as well, or a bolster if you've got one, and then you can just rest on it so it becomes a little bit more restorative. You can always use 2 fists to place underneath the chin or the forehead, or maybe use a block. And then slowly coming all the way up, coming to a wide leg. Engage into the quads, so you can stay tall, ground through the center bones. Again, if you've got a little bit more tension today in the hamstring, you can keep the knees bent, protect the lower back. You can stay on the edge of the block or the cushion. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. So again, stay here. If it feels okay, you can begin to fold forwards. Notice that I'm not really rounding and hunching in. I'm just finding as much length as I can. So today I'm going to stay where I am. You just remember to keep that breath. The breath does not change. And then slowly lift all the way up. Coming to a comfortable cross-legged. So we'll stop the right shin forwards. If this doesn't feel good, you want a little bit more, come to a double pigeon. Right ankle on top of the left knee, shins on top of each other. You're kind of creating a box here. So if that's not where you're at today, don't force it. You can try bringing the knees on top of each other as well. Looking for the outer hip stretch. So again, maybe you want to stay nice and tall. If it feels okay, you can begin to fold forwards. Maybe use a block underneath the forehead, whatever feels good for you. Slowly lift all the way up and then we'll trade sides. Whatever variation feels good for you. Take it step by step, no forcing. Be super easy and gentle on the body. And then slowly lift all the way up. You're going to extend your left leg long and then cross your right foot over the left leg. Right big toes grounded, followed by the right sitting bone to protect your lower back. And then I'm going to bring my right fingertips behind me. Prop myself nice and tall. So inhale, float your left arm up. Exhale, hook the elbow to the outside of that leg. Inhale, draw the belly in. And then as you exhale, maybe you've got a little bit more space and you can twist a little bit deeper. Coming back to the center and then we'll trade sides. So right leg long, cross your left foot over. Set the foundation up and then sit nice and tall on the inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll twist. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, maybe you've got a little bit more space. And then coming back to the center. Come to a comfortable seated position, sit nice and tall. If you prefer to come forward the traditional Shavasana, you're more than welcome to lie on your back. Wherever you are, we'll close down the eyes and just roll the shoulders up and down and back. So just wiggle the shoulders, just release the tension here and wiggle the jaw especially. Go one way and then go the other. You can always create circular neck movements as well. And then finding stillness. Just allow your body to soften back inwards. Come back into your center. And release any effort here. You can stay here as long as you need to. Then if you like, you can subscribe to my YouTube, The Pretty Sweaty Stuff Yoga. Follow me on Instagram at The Pretty Sweaty Stuff. I hope to see you soon. Bringing the hands together, heart center, and bow the head forward. With love and gratitude, namaste.